How's it going, everybody? If you are in commercial real estate, or maybe you're a business owner that owns the property that your business operates out of, then this video is for you. Today, I wanted to go over who some of the top commercial property insurance companies here in the state of Michigan are, and then also go over some of the underwriting factors that these companies will take into account to determine if your business is a good fit for their company. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Brian. I'm an independent insurance agent based here in the state of Michigan, Metro Detroit specifically, and I work with businesses on their commercial insurance programs, as well as helping families and individuals with their personal insurance, their home, their auto insurance as well. My goal with this channel is to pass on a little bit of educational information to you so that you can make more informed decisions around your insurance, and then overall help answer any questions that you might have. So let's get into it. And before we get too far into the video, I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. And if you find this video helpful, useful, anything like that, please feel free to like, share, pass it along with anyone else as well. So when it comes to protecting your business, having the right commercial property insurance in place is obviously going to be very important. The real estate that your business owns can be one of its biggest and most important assets. And at its core, this policy is designed to help repair or rebuild your property if it gets damaged by something like a fire, or maybe severe weather or a natural disaster such as something like a tornado. And a key part of this policy is for the building coverage, is making sure that you have the replacement cost value for your property. And this is different than the market value or what you could sell your building for. It's going to be based on things like the year built, the construction type, the square footage, how many stories it is. And it's very important to make sure that this is as accurate as possible in case something major does happen, so that you are not underinsured and maybe have to pay big out-of-pocket expenses, again, if there is a major claim. It's also important to know that not all properties are treated the same by every insurance company. Different types of buildings will carry different levels of risk, and every insurance company will have its own individual underwriting appetite. For example, it can be common for a lot of companies to not want to underwrite certain types of habitational properties, so multifamily apartment buildings or condo complexes, especially if these buildings were built more than 20 or 25 years ago. And then other companies might steer away from self-storage facilities or warehouses. Again, every company will have a different underwriting appetite. And then beyond the type of property, there are other factors that every insurance company will take into consideration. Things like the location, if it's in a city versus in a more rural area. And this will then impact the fire protection class code, how close it is to a fire station. And then if it's in a high crime rate area. These are all things every insurance company will look at to not only determine how insurable your property is, but then also the cost for the coverage. And then the construction type and age of the property will also be big factors. A newer built, more fire resistant steel industrial building will be looked at differently than maybe a frame built property that's 50 years old. And then the occupancy of the property will also play a big role, if it's owner occupied or not, and then the overall operations of the business inside. If you have a retail building, a restaurant versus dry cleaners versus a nail salon, these will all be looked at differently by every insurance company. Now, fortunately here in Michigan, we do have a lot of great options when it comes to commercial property insurance companies, both on the regional carrier side and national side. So on the more regional side, you have companies like Auto Owners, Frankenmuth, Cincinnati Insurance, and these carriers can provide very solid coverage options and very competitive pricing, depending again if you're in appetite or not. And then on the national carrier level, we have companies like Travelers, Liberty Mutual, Hanover, and the Hartford. And these also can be very competitive options here in the market. And then if your property does not fit maybe neatly into the box that it needs to for the underwriting appetite for those companies, maybe if it's an older building, maybe it's a little unique and carries more risk than a typical property would, then you would need to look into what is called the excess and surplus lines market. This is where you would find specialty insurance companies when standard company markets wouldn't be able to provide coverage. A lot of times the terms and conditions on these policies can be a little bit more restrictive, but they do give owners an option that might not otherwise exist. But overall, with all this, there are a lot of great company options when it comes to commercial property insurance here in Michigan. It's really just going to depend on the property type, who's occupying it, and then the specific coverage that your business does need. So thank you for watching. And if you are looking for help with your commercial property insurance or commercial insurance program as a whole, I would love the opportunity to work with you and see if our team can help. There are a lot of ways to get a hold of me, and they should all be in the description below. Please feel free to text, call, email, fill out a contact form, whatever's easiest. And if you have any other questions about insurance, please feel free to either reach out directly or leave them in the comments below. I would love to help answer those as well. So thank you again.